you to the organisers of March and March for inviting me to speak today. If you're wondering who I am, I'm one of you. I'm not a politician, I'm not a journalist, I'm not a lobbyist, I'm not a mining magnate, I don't own a newspaper, I'm not an insider. But perhaps that's a benefit, because it's often the case that people on the outside can see what is happening on the inside better than those on the inside. And right now, all I can see in our country's recent past is the wreckage strewn in the wake of the Tony Abbott wrecking ball. All I can see ahead is more trouble for the country that we all love. So today I want to share with you my ideas about the lessons our community need to learn to protect ourselves from this type of government in the future. This is partly a manifesto to inspire a one-term Tony scenario, but it's more long-term than that. It's about making sure we don't just react and defend against right-wing ideologues and their vested interests. It's about laying the foundations of a progressive ideas platform that will erase the very reasoning behind people's decisions to vote for right-wing ideologues like Tony Abbott. So what's the manifesto central theme? Quoting a musician that I greatly admire, Rollison, "United we stand, divided we fall. Together we'll stand in solidarity." That's the crux of it. We're all in this together. Yeah. But that's the thing, I think everyone here already understands that. We might all have our individual outrages about the Abbott government, but what binds us together and what binds our values together is the understanding that Abbott is not just bad for all of us as individuals, although he certainly is that. No, but why we're really here is because he's bad for our community, and our community is us. We're all in this life together. We know the life of Reza Barati is no less important than our next door neighbour or one of our own family. We know that when an Australian loses their home or their life from a natural disaster, we all mourn. We know that when someone at Holden loses his or her job, it damages all of us. And we know that if someone we've never met doesn't get the education they deserve, we all suffer. We know that when we go to work each day, or when we stay home caring for a family member, or wherever we are in South Australia and all over Australia, we're building something together. That's what makes us us. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, even with all of us and even with all of our passion, Tony Abbott still won the election in September. And you're right, this is a problem. But that's why we need to turn our attention to those who voted for Abbott, those who've forgotten that when we say us, we mean them as well. If there's one thing Abbott's good at, like someone who punches holes in walls, it's frightening people. And when people are scared, they turn inward. When they're scared of the monsters Peter Credlin created, they turn inward. Non-existent monsters, like a great big tax, mining companies shredding jobs, regulations, or in other words, workers' rights, which apparently strangle enterprise, and of course the corrupt unions who fight for our rights every day. This is all complete nonsense. But the voters believed it. Australia turned inward when they voted for Tony Abbott. We rejected kind and compassionate when we chose to stop the votes. We rejected common sense when we decided money spent saving our economy and our livelihoods from the global financial crisis was wasteful. We rejected science when we put our fear of an increase in electricity prices ahead of our determination to slow climate change. Abbott promised these scared, threatened and gullible people that he would fix everything, that it's a good idea to be selfish and mean and greedy, and to forget that they lived in a community. Dog eat dog came back into vogue. So we need to fix this. We need to show people that when they turn their backs on their community, they lose out every time. We need to remind people that unemployment in industries they don't work in is bad for everyone. Since they care so much about electricity bills, let's run with that and remind them how much climate change is going to cost them in monetary terms. And that they are us as well. to Australians that a richer Gina Rinehart makes nobody else richer, except perhaps her one last daughter who's in the will, who won't be giving anything away. And Abbott might believe that Holden workers are on their own, that now they've been liberated from their jobs, but they're not on their own, because they belong to our community. And no one should ever be told they're on their own, in either the good times or the bad. So, in the words of US Senator Elizabeth Warren, let's tell them no one in this country got rich on their own. Let's remind them that their wealth is our wealth too, and we can share it, but only if they make the smart decision to support their community, which supports them. When you look at the world from this angle, I hope you can see that Tony Abbott is an absolutely horrible option. And suddenly progressive policies aren't scary because they represent the common good. We should be helping our fellow Australians up the ladder of social mobility, not kicking it down and burning it as Abbott is doing now. A stronger you makes us stronger, and a stronger team is what Australia is all about. Thank you for standing with me today and standing up for your community. Let's go forth and spread the word. Let's remind people who have forgotten. United we stand, divided we fall. Together we'll stand in solidarity.
So now we're going to do some chants, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're following, not your name up.